The bad guy cleaned him out in December, walking away with $7,000 worth of stuff. So he installed some security cameras. He even put a motion-activated doorbell with a camera on it so he can take a good look at the suspect and call police. When Kevin Quake saw this guy at his front door, he knew what was up.
I couldn't dial 911 fast enough.
Corey Brown seems to gravitate to Quake's home.
What is it with this guy and what does he want with my house? This is the third time.
The cameras watching Brown's every move didn't seem to bother him. You could see him ring the doorbell, then run away before coming back and throwing a brick into the kitchen window. Stanley thinks his 3-year-old pit bull is what caused the bad guy to give up.
I think that's what ultimately deterred him.
The added security doesn't shake that violating feeling, knowing that Brown's been inside his home.
Yeah, it messes with your mind a little bit.
Quake gives a lot of credit to this high-tech doorbell.
When somebody motion activates or they physically push the doorbell, either one, it notifies me wherever I'm at.
The hidden camera even watching us as we walked into Quake's home.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And it's that clear image that helps police get Brown off the street.
They had this guy arrested in less than an hour. We don't need a guy like this out burglarizing homes, because I'm not the only victim here. I'm not the only house this guy's gone to. He's got quite a record.
In addition to the security cameras, the suspect was actually out on release for other burglaries he's accused of committing and was wearing an ankle monitor, which places him right here at this home at the time he tried to break in. In Phoenix, Navita Fergani, ABC 15 News.
Answering your front door, you could find yourself a victim of burglary. That's what police say is happening in one Northwest community, and now they need your help finding people responsible. Action News reporter Marissa Keniston has this story.
Hello?
Hey, this is Jerry.
I'm sorry, we're not interested.
Police say this house may have been one of the lucky ones. Watch this surveillance video again. After this man rings the doorbell, somebody answers through a speaker.
Hello?
Not what this group wanted. That's because police believe these 3 people are ringing doorbells all up and down this Northwest community, hoping they'd find a house like this one, where nobody answered. Then they'd make their way into the home, taking what they could.
Shocked, to be honest with you.
Beagleman lives near where the burglaries happened, and like many of his neighbors, he has home surveillance systems.
I think it's an extra safeguard. I mean, at least I'd like to think it's more of a deterrent. Obviously, if somebody's really going to want to get in, they probably will. But I like to think that this will be a first measure to make them think twice.
But his line of work is also security, and he says what this woman did,
I'm sorry, we're not interested.
was the right thing to do.
I think you need to acknowledge that you're home. So whether or not you open the door or not,
Police say they investigate around 150 to 200 reported burglary cases in Chattanooga each month, and many of those cases go unsolved due to lack of evidence. So the evidence in this case helped officers identify the suspect within the hour. The victim says this is something all homeowners should take notice of. This is the surveillance video that helped Chattanooga police arrest a burglary suspect. Police say the woman in the video took more than $2,500 worth of electronics from inside this McCulley Avenue home.
Having someone break into your home is a real loss, and it's hard to put into words the feelings that you feel that someone actually invades your home.
Mark Shedletsky says he installed the cameras after thieves stole his outdoor furniture. The cameras start rolling when there is movement at the front door or someone rings the doorbell. You can then watch the live stream right on your iPhone.
But as far as getting a beautiful high-definition 1080p shot of someone's face for our convenience, we couldn't be more grateful.
Lieutenant Craig Joel says most burglaries happen in broad daylight during work hours.
It seems like the opposite. You think if someone's creeping around in the night with a toboggan on and a pry bar, it's during the daylight hours. And whether they physically force their way in or they look for an open door or window, more often than not these days they're finding open doors.
The suspect in this case rang the doorbell. When no one answered, she went through an open door. Watch as she spots the camera and takes it with her, but not before it gets a clear picture of her face. Officers identified the woman as 51-year-old Cynthia Green.
I was told that Miss Green was responsible for many burglaries around Highland Park and Orchard Knob.
Investigators say the investment into a video recording system is worth it. In this case, it helped Shedletsky get his laptop back the same day it was stolen.
We love to have a picture of you committing a crime. That's really a compliment and helps us speed things along.
Green's case was bound over to the grand jury. Her next court date will be in July.
It's your first time being around? You're doing great. Just smile, Loretta, so you don't look like you're being held up. You got a very pretty smile.
It's said that planning and executing the perfect crime involves a great deal of time, effort, and smarts. Perhaps that's why some prefer to just wing it. Here are 10 of the sloppiest criminals ever caught on camera. Number 10. Beer bandits.
Caught on camera, a pair of beer bandits targeting a gas station in Oakland Park.
The duo started off by grabbing 72 cans of beer from a convenience store cooler. The first obstacle was a locked door, which they were eventually able to kick open. One robber slipped and fell just outside the building. Finally, having dropped or put down most of their loot, they just grabbed as much brew as they could and took off in a 1996 Honda. Number 9. Concealing identities. Two men decided to duck into an alley in London to disguise themselves before trying to commit an armed robbery. The spot they chose was outfitted with a surveillance camera that caught both their outfit changes and faces. Number 8. Art thief. A man was trying to steal a painting from a gallery, but had some trouble concealing it in his hoodie. When he wasn't able to cram the work inside his sweatshirt, he decided to just tuck it under his arm. Staff noticed, and upon being confronted, the flustered robber dumped the painting and fled. Number 7. Tip jar robber. It likely wasn't this individual's intention to work for tips, but that's what he ended up with. The criminal held a store clerk at knife point and demanded all of the money in the register. When he was told there wasn't any, he just grabbed the jar full of gratuities and left. Number 6. Not so covert operators. They tried to be sneaky by staying low to the ground. One of them even hid behind a counter of a pizza joint while grabbing cash out of the till. Little did he know there was a security camera pointed straight at him, recording the whole thing as it went down. Number 5. Clear plastic bag burglar. It's said his decision to rob a gas station was fueled by alcohol and prescription drugs, so it's not entirely surprising that he decided a clear grocery bag would work nicely as a disguise. He was eventually caught and sentenced to 2 years of jail time. Number 4. Concealing a chainsaw. The tools make chopping up wood an easy job, but can seriously make a robbery complicated. Hoping to sneak one past store workers, a Florida man shoved it down his pants. He ditched the saw during a chase, but was caught when he went back to retrieve it. Number 3. Wheelchair getaway. A West Virginia man was caught on camera walking the aisles of a closed liquor store, filling up on merchandise and cash along the way. He then got away from the scene on a motorized wheelchair. He was arrested and the chair was towed to an area garage. Number 2. Tong-wielding robber. A man in Arkansas attempted to hold up a convenience market. His weapon was a pair of hot dog tongs he picked up from the store's food counter. The man was taken into custody, and even though he wrote an apology letter, faced 2 counts of attempted aggravated robbery. Number 1. Wedding crasher. Brides and grooms are given a lot of really nice gifts, and a thief in Connecticut decided to dip into one couple's haul. The robber hit a reception and made off with an envelope-filled birdcage. The container was later recovered, but by then it was empty. Thankfully, the venue's camera got a clear shot of him. Which robbery do you think was the biggest fiasco?